So today, in the Church of Jesus Christ, we learn about how he walked this earth. Ooh, do you feel me?
Babe, don't make fun of Jesus.
I'm not making fun of Jesus.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Jesus doesn't like those things. He's offended.
Yeah. All right, hey, so welcome back to another episode of Will That Start Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Hilton, and today I got my wife on today. She doesn't want to be filmed, so it's just me on the film. But you can hear her. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. So, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, I got a question for you. What makes our relationship so much different than other people's? We're crazy, right?
Well, yeah. I think our relationship is really different from other people because, A, I still have the hots for you.
Yeah. And just so you know, you sound so sexy on the microphone right now. Like,
and you're making me blush. And we're on a podcast, so yeah. I'm really glad nobody can see my face.
Oh.
But I like that we have a lot of humor still in our relationship. Mm-hmm. And there would be something else I would say, but we're on the podcast.
Big old balls.
I was going to say earlobes, but balls work.
Earlobes, really?
Okay, that was terrible.
Anyways, yeah. So that's it, huh? That's it? Big nuts and that's it, huh?
Well, I mean, you got big lips, too.
So, explain to the audience how we met.
The dumpsters behind Burger King.
Burger King, yeah. I got the hots for that homeless chick
right there.
And I was
like, ooh, Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. No, for really.
For really?
For really.
I said. No.
So, we knew each other for a while in Florida.
Yeah, yep.
We knew each other in, Kids Church and New Covenant in Florida?
And I used to think you were not cute for a really long time. I never even had a thing.
Boys are icky. Ew.
Never said boys were icky, so scratch that for all your viewers.
I was just icky.
Yeah, because he had a little dicky.
A little dicky nicky. This is how we're weird. This is really fucking weird.
But, yeah, we met in the youth group, but we were never, like, friends or, like, hung out or anything. Like, we knew of each other, and then, like, your sister and my brother were in the same age group or whatever, and they grew up together, and then our dads worked together for a long time.
Yeah,
and then, like, I went away to college. I almost said high school. I went away to college, supposed to join the military.
Where'd you go?
Your mom's house. And then I came back.
She's a keeper.
Then I came back, and I was like, hey, because you reached out to me.
That's right. I added you on Facebook.
And I was like, what a cutie, but he's still a loser. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I'll reach out to you when I come back home for spring break or whatever.
I'm pretty sure I was just breaking up with my ex at that point when I was talking to you, because we were going through a rough patch or something like that.
Don't know, don't care, because you're not with her, you're with me.
That's right.
Moving on. So, What?
Back up. Remember, you were texting me. You're at a fucking bonfire.
A bonfire?
Yeah! Anyways. No, you're at a bonfire. I remember you texting me, and you were so drunk. You're like, what? Oh, they can't hear shit. So, and you're like, I wish you were here. You're like, you're so hot. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, she's drunk.
And I was thinking, don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
Because I still remembered it the day after, but I tried to, like, play it off. I think you were helping your sister move to Maryland.
Yep.
And you guys were staying at some hotel, and I remember you had cruisin' rum. You had raspberry cruisin' rum.
No, it was Sailor Jerry's.
No.
Mm-hmm. I remember that night.
Okay.
I was fucked up.
So really, ladies and gentlemen, that's why he talked to me. He had those beer goggles on.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
Anyways, y'all see what I'm married to?
Yep,
This is terrible.
Right.
Anyway, spring break happened, and I came home, and I had told him I was going to reach back out to him after that, and I never really talked to him after that for a while, because it was a few weeks, maybe even a little over a month or something like that, before I was coming home for spring break. So he was like, I told him when I got home, I messaged you. Like 4 months goes by. Yeah. I didn't message him, and then out of nowhere, I reached out to him. And I was like, hey, I'm back in Orlando. And I'm pretty sure, without him even telling me, he had a huge tent in his pants. Because I was like, hey, I'm back in the area. Yeah,
Well, we're like...
Yeah. So anyways, we started talking. He asked me if I wanted to go on a date. I remember telling my parents that I was going to be going on a date.
And your mom was ecstatic.
My mom always liked Ian growing up. That was weird. That didn't sound right. My mom always thought that Ian was a good kid. She always thought that he would be a good guy for me. And I was like, ew, like he is not cute. He's like crater face.
I did not have crater face. No, I didn't. I think it was
no, you didn't have crater face.
Oh, okay.
No, you didn't. I'm just joking.
Okay.
But he was a cute little drummer. But I like looking back at it, I probably do think he was cute. But at the time, I wasn't like thinking about him. So, anyways, that's for another day, another podcast. But I remember when he picked me up, I was thinking to myself, okay.
Yeah. What was I wearing? Do you remember what I was wearing?
You were wearing a white button-up shirt. Yep. But it wasn't buttoned like all the way up, like he was wearing a friggin' dickie or like a turtleneck.
Yeah, or like a Spanish guy, like Cholo.
Yo, papi!
Hey, girl. Hey, you walking or working?
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. So, anyways, he was wearing that, and I think he was wearing jeans. Were you wearing jeans?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But at that time, when we first started dating, which is when I should have known it was a red flag, he was still really into super skinny skater boy jeans. Like, literally snap your balls in half tight. Like, I don't even know how his gooch had time to breathe. Like, he'd get out of the shower probably, put his boxers on, put those pants on, his gooch was sweating. That's how tight his fucking pants were. Take a deep
breath and get some tape in there.
Anyways, so he did that. And then he picked me up in his truck. He had a black stick shift Nissan Frontier. Mm-hmm. And I used to love that truck. Mm-hmm. Even though it was stick shift. Watching him work that stick. Just kidding. But, you know, he just was... He was such a good guy, even after that date. But anyways, let me go back to what I was doing. I remember he picked me up in that. We were on our way to a place called Orlando Ale House.
Oh, that place is so good.
And it is bomb.
Yes.
But you know when you're dating, well, if you're anything like me, when you're dating, you're really nervous sometimes to eat in front of somebody that you like. And I don't know why I was like that with him, but I was really embarrassed to eat. And I was like,
you had a piece of rice and you're like, I'm full.
Yeah, I'm full. So I remember I ordered like quesadillas or something with like dirty rice or whatever. And then Ian's over here getting like no shame. He orders this huge Mountain Zinger melt.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember that.
Because I had a piece of it. They were good. Well, that was like 10 pounds later when I started actually eating in front of him. We went back to other dates many months down the road, and we went back, and I actually ate like a normal person. But on that date, I didn't eat very much. I took it home, and but I forgot, backtrack. Yeah. When we were driving to the date, when we were driving to go and get dinner, he was making me laugh so hard, my face hurts. Like, you know when you laugh so hard, behind your ears start to hurt? Yeah. That's exactly what he was making me do. I was crying. I was laughing so hard because he was making jokes about his dog, Deefy. Now, let me tell you about Deefy. Deefy, first of all, is old. Well, at the time, she was old. She's no longer with us.
She was 14. I think 14,
yeah.
15.
She was a Cocker Spaniel. She was old. She was deaf. She was, like, probably colorblind. Yeah. She couldn't see for shit. She had scabs all over her head from running into everything. And one of the jokes I'll never forget, which is so messed up, he told me that he rearranges the furniture around the house so that just to mess with her. And I was like, that is so messed up. And then I think from there, because I laughed at that joke, he was like, yeah, I'm keeping her.
Yeah.
And we didn't know at that point, obviously. But anyway, so we went to dinner. We ordered dinner. And then all of a sudden, like, we were having such a good time. We were laughing the whole time.
So I'm going to stop you there. So I remember one of the jokes. I think you were embarrassed by this because I remember you told me a story about your uncle. And you called, there was a cat that you said was like, you called Jingle Balls. Because
they had a cat.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just tell it real quick. Okay. So you could not finish this story. You were literally dying of laughter. Like, you would say one word and be like, okay,
for the record, I never sounded like that.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't look like that.
Anyways, so you could not finish the story worth a damn. I remember you were like, I would say one word and you start busting out laughing. I think you were getting embarrassed because I was like waiting for the punchline. Like, what's
funny? Couldn't get it out.
But you told me the story was like your uncle was sitting on the couch or laying on the couch and he was singing Jingle Bells and the cat jumped on his balls or something like that.
Yeah, the cat used to like. I forgot what the cat's actual name was. I can't remember the cat's name, but we started calling him Jingle Balls. First of all, if you don't know my Uncle Daryl is awesome. Mm-hmm. And he is so funny, and he's the most caring man. But I remember this cat jumped right on his balls on the couch, and that cat would like literally probably fondle his balls. I know that sounds wrong because it's my uncle, but we used to make a joke about that because ever since then, we couldn't call the cat anything else. We just called him Jingle Balls. So anyways, there's that story with that cat. But
and then so towards the end of the dinner, I was drinking Mountain Dew, right? And I had a protein shake beforehand because I went to the gym. And so you know how sugar and protein, like a protein shake, really doesn't go well together.
And I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know he had done any of that before our date. Mm. So I'm just going with the flow, having a great time, laughing really hard. I mean, we were at that restaurant for a few hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, it was going so well, I was thinking, well, maybe we'll go to the movie or something, or maybe we'll get ice cream or something after. Because it was going so well, and I had a hunch because it was going so well that we were going to go do something else. Yeah. Well, we get the check, and we get our food to take with us. Well, I took food home. I think he ate all of his food. I don't think there was scraps left on his plate.
And this time, towards the end, I'm sweating. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm holding it in so bad. And I'm looking at her like...
And I couldn't even tell. I didn't know he was having stomach issues.
Yeah.
So we get in the truck, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, great. We're going to go to the movies. This was awesome. Like, this was a great first date. Like, I wasn't expecting it to go that well, considering we had never hung out one-on-one. Mm-hmm. We never had a thing for each other. We didn't talk to each other for years. We weren't even friends growing up. We just knew of each other because of the youth group. And then... he dropped me off at home, and
well, you were thinking weird because we got in the truck and we started going away from Waterford Lakes. So if
that's right, we were in Waterford Lakes.
Waterford Lakes is a big mall, like a strip mall. But
like an outdoor one.
It's all outdoor, yeah, but it's huge, and there's a lot of stuff to do. You can go to the movies, you can go get ice cream, a whole bunch of stuff you can do, and so. We're driving away, and I'm thinking by this time, you're thinking like, well, I guess we're not going to do that, or he's going to take me somewhere else, whatever.
Yeah, but I was just going with it. I was like, okay, and then I realized, well, no, shit, we're going in the direction of my house. Yeah. Like, what the hell? And so he took me home. He wasn't upset or anything, so I was confused. I was like, he's not mad at me. We're still laughing. We're still having a good time. I'm not realizing he's profusely sweating, like literally clenching his butt cheeks together.
Yeah. I'm like white knuckling.
And so he drops me off, and I can't remember. I know I gave you a hug, but I don't think you kissed me. I think you just gave me a hug.
Just a hug. Yeah.
It was a side hug, for the record. I gave him a side hug. But anyways, he gave me the hug, and I went home. And when I went inside, I remember getting ready to for the rest of the night, to go to bed or whatever. And I was going back on my phone, and I was waiting to text or something, and I hadn't heard from him for a while. And I just remember thinking to myself, I really hope, I pray that we go on another date. He's super nice, he's super funny, we get each other, plus he's good looking, so it was a bonus that he was good eye candy. He was something nice to stare at, and I knew I was hot, so I'm just gonna say that.
You still are.
And then marriage happened, but that's besides the point. So I remember thinking to myself, I hope he texts me back.